Um, all right. So let's get started. So, taking a moment to settle in, finding your most comfortable posture. I've got a few different practices for us today, but I wanted to start off. I found out last night that yesterday. Let me get my cord out of the way. Yesterday was Pima Chodron's birthday, and there's just so many of her quotes and teachings that I really adore. And so I wanted to share one of my favorites. You are the sky. Everything else is just the weather. And to me, that perfectly embodies mindfulness. I have several quotes and teachings along those lines that we work with here, where we're remembering that the us that we're working with is the sky, and our thoughts come and go, our feelings come and go, all of that comes and goes. Um, and trusting that the true capital S self is behind all of that, and just experiencing, because we're going to have emotions, we're going to have thoughts. And in a mindfulness practice, when a thought arises, it's all in what you do with it. Do you go, "Oh, that's a thought, and there it goes?" Or do we start to either follow that thought and really get caught in our little thought spiral, or even worse, go, "Oh, I can't believe I'm thinking. I'm a terrible meditator." Um, those aren't helpful. So, thinking of how you would notice the clouds go by. We don't remark on every cloud. We don't nitpick and go, "Oh, that cloud should be there. That cloud should be there." They're just there and they're impermanent. So, with that in mind, checking in with what's going on for you today. Just noticing your breath, noticing the thoughts, the emotions, whatever's there, and then beginning to just gently label them. Thoughts aren't bad. We're just labeling, okay, that's a thought. That's an emotion. Getting curious. What's in there? What happens when we begin to step into some quiet? I had a conversation with someone yesterday about how natural and normal a human experience it is to want to distract yourself, to quickly go, "Oh, I don't wanna be in silence. Let me pick up my phone. Let me think about this. Let me ruminate on this." And so notice if that urge bubbles up, and just gently allow yourself to be here. Something that helps me is reminding myself that this is the time that I've set aside for meditation. So there's truly nothing else to be doing in this moment. And sometimes my monkey mind will still go, "Yes, but what about ba ba ba?" No, this is our time for meditation. Our time to notice our breath, to feel the rhythm of your breath as you inhale and exhale. noticing where you feel your breath. What does the sensation of breathing feel like? What does it feel like to breathe a little deeper? What is your natural rate of breathing? Every question we ask during meditation is from a space of compassionate curiosity, just inviting yourself to notice. One of the teachings or phrases that I keep in mind often throughout my day, and is great if you have any interactions with other people, which is pretty much all of us. Observe, don't absorb. And it's the same with our thoughts. We're not trying to get lost in them. We're just noticing, observing from this grounded space. And the beautiful thing about cultivating this grounded space, this mindfulness, is that when life inevitably riles you up or knocks you a little bit over, you know that you can cultivate this space again. It's not about always staying in this space, but knowing that you are able to return to it over and over and over. In addition to noticing your breath, perhaps you feel the points of contact between your body and wherever you're sitting, your cushion, a chair, the floor. Where are those points of contact? Where exactly is the most point of contact? Do you feel the most pressure on your feet or maybe your bum? Is one foot making more contact than the other? Just continue to notice whatever there is to be noticed. As you breathe and as you feel yourself in the space that you have selected for today's practice. As we orient to this space by noticing sensations in our bodies, we perhaps also notice sound. In addition to the sound of my voice, what else do you hear in your space? Trying to stay neutral here, staying with this curious compassion. And just like we allow the clouds and the birds to pass in front of the sky, allowing all of those sounds to exist around your practice. And if at any point your mind wanders, you can bring yourself back to your breath and to the sensation of your body in this space, the points of contact with the floor, with your cushion or chair. And as we near our halfway point, maybe notice if there's any adjustment in the way that you're seated that you would like to take. Maybe checking in with your posture. Are you sitting up tall yet relaxed? Perhaps leaning against a wall or the back of a chair. This morning I was reading through one of my favorite books about the Yoga Sutras. So, Living the Sutras by Kelly DiNardo and Amy Pierce Hayden. A lot of people think of yoga as just the stretching and movement practice. But there's a lot of philosophy and meditation instruction, much more so than asana or movement. So these are from book 1, lines 13 and 14. Practice is the effort to steady the mind. The mind easily becomes steady when practice is consistent, sustained, and sincere. So, the first principle of a successful practice is steady effort. It must be consistent, without interruption, and done with reverence. Now, of course, we have interruptions throughout our lives, um, but we can be mostly consistent. And what really stood out to me today was this with reverence or sincerity. Consistent effort over a long time makes sense. Putting in the work with an attitude of reverence is trickier. What does that mean? Classically, it's the idea that our practice is considered transcendent as opposed to a routine chore or habit. We must be driven by enthusiasm for our practice rather than by some sense of duty or idea of what we should do. So maybe reflecting on what brought you to your practice today. Maybe you are here because you feel like you should meditate. Notice how that feels. I will say that with my yoga practice, there are some times that I feel like I have to show up. And then, of course, once I'm in the practice, I'm like, yes, this is definitely where I want to be. So finding that balance within yourself and maybe even asking where that sense of duty comes from. Is it internally driven? Is it something you want to do because you know you'll feel better, or something someone told you you have to do? I had a difficult relationship with yoga for a while, um, because there was so much expectation on it. And once I allowed my practice to be my practice, everything changed. And then there's a quote from Rohit Mehta: "The effort must have the quality of cheerfulness about it. Yoga is not a path of woe. It is indeed a way of joy. If the effort is prolonged and uninterrupted, yet lacks this quality of joy, then it is hardly of any worth at all." So that's what we're going to sit with. And just notice, how can you bring some more joy? Angel, thank you for sharing. Yes, there's, especially with social media, there's so many ideas of what yoga or even a meditation practice should look like. And the look is really the least important part. How does it feel to each of us? So as you settle in, perhaps inviting a soft smile on your face. What does it feel like to smile in your practice? One of the biggest shifts for me in terms of meditation was this acceptance that my mind is not supposed to be blank, because that's very difficult for me, as it is for most people. Of course, with practice, there are days when my mind does still, but it is our mind's job to bring up thoughts, to think of things. And so, especially in our mindfulness practice, and there's so many ways to meditate. There are other schools of meditation that will say different things. Noticing when your mind brings you a thought, and then just label it as a thought. What does it look like to not pick it up? While being grateful that your mind is able to think. Your mind is doing exactly what it's meant to do. Same thing with our emotions. Our emotions are there to inform us about the world around us. I had a friend tell me that there's something wrong with her because she was feeling panicky. And then we talked a bit more about what was going on in her life, and I was like, "Of course you're feeling panicky. Look at what's going on around you." We've gotten so conditioned to think that the ideal experience is just nothingness. We're meant to experience all of these things. But there is a definite difference in noticing, I'm feeling panicky. What does that need? What does that mean? Versus spinning around in the panic spiral. And so as your thoughts and emotions come up, just getting curious. What do they need? Do they need anything? And if you find yourself getting stuck in any of these loops, keep returning to your breath, to the sensation of being physically present as you are. Many times throughout the day, I bring my focus down to my feet. Often I'll even wiggle my toes, feeling grounded, feeling fully present in your body, knowing that thoughts and emotions are meant to come and go. Noticing your breath, noticing whatever else there is to notice. As you are in this space. And our final practice today, I've really been enjoying closing with our loving kindness practice. So, our loving kindness is a compassion practice where, in this case, I have 4 lines of well wishes, and um, we're running a little short on time, so we're going to focus on ourselves, and then we'll move on to all beings. So, a little shortened version. So I'm going to recite one line at a time, and I'll pause after each one. So take a moment. So, like I said, we're reciting these for ourselves. Sometimes I'll place one hand right on my chest, and repeat after me either silently or out loud. May my spirit be strong. May I be safe and protected. May I be filled with deep healing. May I be held by love. I'm just taking a moment here to notice how it feels to wish those things for yourself. Now we'll move on to wish those well wishes, those same well wishes for all beings. May the spirits of all beings be strong. May all beings be safe and protected. May all beings be filled with deep healing. May all beings be held by love. Again, notice, how does it feel to hold those well wishes? And now the big question is, what are some ways that you can bring those well wishes into fruition today? How can you use your actions to embody those wishes? And these can be in small ways. My favorite practice is throughout the day, just noticing what action will bring me closer in alignment with what I say I want. Hmm. And we're moving towards our last minute here. So if you have any thoughts or anything you'd like to share in the comments, you're welcome to put those in. Maybe bringing your palms together at your heart space and ending our practice with gratitude and reverence and cheer and joy, all of the things that have accompanied us through this practice. Taking time to thank yourself for meditating today and feel grateful for everyone who practiced alongside you. Thank you all so much. Thank you. I lead these live meditations the same time every week. So mark your calendar for next Wednesday. And you can go to my profile for some meditation recordings right here on Insight Timer. And yeah, let me know if you have any thoughts or questions. If you're able to give a monetary donation, very much appreciated. 5-star reviews are also very much appreciated. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you all so much for meditating with me. Take good care. Thank you.